Hey there, and welcome to this week's edition of the Life and Legacy Show, sponsored by the Sechler Law Firm, where great families make great estate plans. Thanks for joining us this week. My name is Tim Sechler. I am a certified elder law attorney. I am the owner of a law firm called the Sechler Law Firm in Cranberry Township. And we do this show to teach you the things that I think you need to know about estate planning, the differences between the different types of documents, the differences between why we use them, what make one strategy a good idea for one family and another strategy a good idea for another family. So and in this show we do some different things. From time to time I have a guest. From time to time we do legal technical stuff. We talk systems, we talk processes, and just kind of what you can expect, because I really feel like estate planning is a super important thing that you should do. You work your whole life to accumulate some stuff. You have a nest egg, you raise a family, and this collection of some of the stuff you have and the memories that you have in the family and all of that, that's sort of like the end of this beautiful story that you've lived. And I believe that the estate plan is like the proper way to help tell that story, right? We want to make sure that things are well managed. We want to make sure that things are not stressful. We want to make sure that the conversation that's going on when bad things happen is not additional stress. It's positive. And how can we arrange our affairs in order to protect ourselves from the things that go bump in the night? What are the financial risks? What are the taxes? What are the different things that can come after you? And if you've been listening to the show before, you've heard my story before. I started a law firm after I watched my grandfather essentially go through his entire life savings battling Alzheimer's disease, and it hit me. His estate planning attorney didn't do anything to help protect assets. He was sort of stuck in this concept that estate planning is really like just planning for who gets the stuff when you pass away. And from my standpoint, it's way more important than that. Estate planning is way more than just who gets my stuff. I mean, that's the easy stuff. And this attorney missed the opportunity to help my grandfather actually protect resources. And so I've owned a law firm for over a decade. And the primary purpose of our law firm is to help folks do real planning. We're not just going to do the simple. We're not just going to do the who gets my stuff. I mean, yeah, we answer that question, but we got to answer some other questions, like how can we do it stress-free? How can we arrange your affairs? How can we get financial alignment with your financial professional in the estate plan to make sure that things are stress-free and your family has a proper team around them when something happens to you? And so we don't make sacrifices on the quality of the work in order to make it simple, and we don't apologize for that. But ever since I've owned the law firm, I mean, we've been doing things a little bit different. We've been doing things, our processes are different, because I think that the estate planning industry largely is failing the community. All right. And let me explain why. This stuff is confusing, right? And for whatever reason, multitude of reasons, the federal government, the state government have made these things so darn complicated. You got all these taxes. You got capital gains tax to worry about, real estate tax to worry about, inheritance tax, federal estate tax. Then you couple on probate and the expenses associated with that and all the legal fees. And then you tack on the expense of nursing homes. If you end up getting sick, which most of us are going to, and you need a nursing home, nursing homes are $170,000 a year in Pennsylvania. And so you add all this up, and it's such this confusing process. And a lot of the lawyers, in my opinion, are frankly lazy. And so you go to their office and they either don't know or they don't want to take the time with their clients to explain all of these nuances of the thing. And so then what's the result? The result is, here's your will, right? We're just going to answer the question, who gets your stuff when you pass away? Because this stuff is hard, because this stuff is complicated, we're just not going to take the time to do it. We're just going to do a will that says who gets your stuff when you pass away. And from my standpoint, man, that's a failure. And so I wanted to sort of walk you through the way I think this process should go. We're doing things a little bit different in our law firm. Our clients seem to appreciate it. And I thought that I would take the time to explain to you the way this goes. So the way it goes in most law firms is you You find a law firm one way or the other. Somebody told you about them, or you go on the internet and it says that they do wills or whatever. So you call them, you get Mean Marge on the phone, and she registers you for a paid consultation. So you're out of pocket a couple of $100 to go meet with the lawyer. The lawyer spends an hour with you talking about your family, throwing some legal mumbo jumbo at you. And then at the end, they say, well, you know what, there's all this other stuff, but that's probably not going to happen to you. So all you got to do is this will, plus you've already paid a couple $100 for the consultation. So we'll just apply that towards the price of the thing. And it sounds so easy and it sounds so simple. And of course, the family who's sitting in the office, who has taken time out of their world to go visit with this attorney and really doesn't want to go do that again, says, okay, the lawyer says it's okay. Then they sign up for the thing, right? A couple weeks later, they're signing up for they're signing their documents that really have frankly never been explained to them. They sign the thing, they think they check the box that they have an estate plan because we have some will now, and then they go about their world and they don't think about it for 20 years. And if you've ever done an estate plan, it probably went a lot like that. Okay, you probably went to a lawyer you met that day and he designed your estate plan. You probably chose a thing and only ever heard about one option. You probably haven't heard from the person since. And, here's the problem with all of this. One, you have no idea if you chose the right document. Two, you don't really understand what you signed. Three, you haven't heard from the guy in 5 or 10 years or the lady for 5 or 10 years. And you're never going to, because they've already made their money, right? Why would they reach back out to you? And the challenge is the world isn't the same. I mean, think about all the things that have changed from a legal standpoint in the last few years. Think about all the things that have changed in your world. I mean, is your life the same as it was 5 years ago when you did the plan? Or if you never did a plan, we're utterly unprepared, right? And then the other thing is your life the same as it's going to be 5 years from now? And of course, the answer is no, right? And so I just want to sort of walk you through the challenges that I've seen in this industry, the things that we're trying to solve. The first thing that I set out to solve was doing better legal technical planning for middle-class folks. If there is a wealthy person who calls a law firm and calls one of the ivory tower law firms downtown, what's going to happen is, oh, you've got $10 million. Great. Come on in. And then you get the white glove service and you get all the things and you get all the estate tax. And that client is very well serviced by the legal industry because there's $10 million involved and the attorneys want their chunk. And so that all happens, right? But then you take the average school teacher that has managed to save some money or the blue collar worker, and they end up in that law firm. They don't have $10 million. And it's like, here's your will, sign here and get out, and the problem with that is that family has some risk. You take a family that owns a house and has a few $100,000 in the bank in their retirement years. This family has some risk. It may not be the same risk that the person with $10 million has if we're talking about, the big federal estate taxes. Somebody with lesser money doesn't pay federal estate taxes. We don't have that risk. But somebody that owns a house and a couple $100,000 in the bank, they do have a risk. And that risk is what happens if one of us gets sick, because nursing homes are $150,000 to $180,000 a year, today's dollars. Nobody helps until you're broke. And so I imagine you didn't work 50 or 60 years to accumulate some stuff to go broke. And so there's some things you should probably take a look at. One of the things we teach our clients is you should probably have your house in an irrevocable trust, because that's going to protect it from that long-term care expense, and it really doesn't impact your life much. But most law firms don't take the time in a paid consultation or a free consultation to explain all these options, because it's just too darn complicated to explain in 1 hour. It's just, people don't get it, right? And so they take the easy route and they sell you a will, and they didn't help you with your biggest financial threat. So I want to explain how we've been doing it. We don't just bring you in for the initial consultation. I think that would be a disservice. What we do is we teach a class. We invite you to come to a workshop called the 3 Secrets to Protect Your Estate and Protect Your Assets. All right. Now you come to this workshop. And there's other people there, and it's taught by one of our team members. And we teach you some of the legal technical things you need to know in order to make a decision. This is a free class. So you learn about wills, and you learn about powers of attorney, and you learn about a couple of different types of trusts that we like to use. We talk to you about long-term care and how this whole nursing home system works and how you can protect your house, protect your money from the things. And we teach you those things. Okay. And for about 10 years, I've been doing seminars like that. We've been doing the workshops. We've done it hundreds of times, and people really learn a lot. I mean, we get great reviews on our workshops. You can check it out on our website, which, by the way, you can find the workshops on our website. If you go to sechlerlawfirm.com, you're going to find upcoming workshops. You should come. We teach you good stuff. You're going to learn a lot. All right. Then at the end of the workshop, what we did for years was we would offer you a consultation after the workshop, because now you've got sort of the 100 level education, and then we can get into the meeting, and we can really start from the second floor on the education. We could get a lot done in a meeting. But what I experienced over a long period of time was we would do the education. I felt like people understood the stuff. And then we'd give them a couple of options. You can do this one, you can do this one, you can do this one. And what would happen is they would still make sometimes what I would believe to be the wrong decision. Now, they understood it, but I think they should do option 3. They do option 1. And the reason they would do option 1 is to save a few bucks. Got it. Right. But I started my law firm to help people. I'm not interested in doing just the basics. I'm interested in doing a good plan that's actually going to help your family. I don't want you to end up in the same situation my grandfather ended up in. I mean, that's why we're here. And I still had clients doing these other plans to save a few dollars. And after 10 years, the challenge is that people are now coming back. And I wrote wills 10 years ago, and now people are getting sick, and people are in nursing homes. And I know that, like, we were trying to do the right thing by these people, but the result is the same. They still got a financial problem later, and these are my own clients. And so I had to fix this. I think that the way that this whole thing worked in my firm and in other firms was failing people. And so I created a new process. So now what happens is, if you come to our workshop, we offer you not a consultation after the workshop. If you're interested in the things that we're saying, if you're interested in the things that you've learned, we offer you another class, and it's free. So you come to another class. We call this our blueprint workshop. At the blueprint workshop, this is a real class. I mean, it kind of feels like college, right? You're there for a couple of hours. We teach you all the technical stuff. This is taught by an attorney. You ask all the questions you want to know. You go through the whole thing. And you have a workbook, and you start answering some questions in a workbook. And that tells us a lot of what we would need to know in order to craft your estate plan for you. Then we ask if you'd like to hire the firm. If you'd like to hire the firm, then you work one-on-one with a lawyer until you finish up the estate plan. Now, here's the other thing. So by doing a lot of this work in a classroom setting rather than in a consultation room, what we've done is we've been able to reduce our billable hours, right? I mean, and that reduces the fee. And so the estate plan that we used to be doing that would get too pricey for folks to do, the really good plan I thought they should do, but they didn't like the price tag. Now we've got it to a point where families are really happy to do the work, and we're just doing better planning for people because we figured out a way to do it more affordably. And so I've been dedicating myself to creating this process for the better part of a year now. And I can tell you, it's awesome. We're helping people do better planning. Our clients understand this situation, understand the legal environment they're in. They understand these documents better because we're doing all this education. And then once you have completed your estate plan, we're not done. I'm not going to be the law firm that you never hear from. And so what we have done is we've created an ongoing education program for our clients. It's called the Red Wagon Club. And the Red Wagon Club is once you come to the workshop, you'll get it. But we use a little red wagon. In fact, if you're watching on YouTube, I have one right here. We use a little red wagon to explain the concept of a trust. And so then our ongoing support, our ongoing membership that we have for clients is called the Red Wagon Club. And so let me tell you about what the Red Wagon Club is. The Red Wagon Club is committed to the idea that estate planning is not a transaction. This is not a thing you do once and you put on the shelf and you forget about it for 15 years, because your life's going to change. The world's going to change. Okay. The laws are going to change, and we need to keep you updated. And so what we do is we do a couple of things for our clients. One, when you create your estate plan is not done when you sign your documents. Your estate plan, after we've signed your documents, we still offer you to have 3 additional classes as part of like the onboarding. So what are those classes? You already have your documents, right? But in your documents, you named family members more than likely to be decision makers for you, power of attorney, executor, trustee, but they don't know what that means, right? And so what we've decided is we need to teach them, right? Because you could hand me Mike Tomlin's playbook. That doesn't make me a football coach, right? So why are we pretending that we could hand your kid a will or a trust and that makes them an executor, it makes them a trustee? They don't know what it means. And so I like to deal with reality. And reality is we need to teach them what it means. And so we offer a class that we to our clients' children on, it's called the Know Your Role Workshop. And it's a webinar because a lot of our clients' kids are out of town. But we teach them a webinar on what it means to be a trustee, what it means to be a power of attorney. When do you need to call us? When do you need to call the financial people? And we're starting to develop a relationship with our clients' adult children so that when bad things happen, they know where to turn, right? We tell them what to think about when the unthinkable happens. And that to me is part and parcel with just making sure that this whole thing works. Okay. So that's one of the classes that we do for our clients in our Red Wagon Club. The next thing that we do is we offer a life care planning class. Now, what the heck is life care planning? Well, life care planning is the recognition that the long-term care system is complicated, right? If you're in your retirement years and you thought about like, if we needed care, where would we get it? How do we stay in our home? If I had to go to a place, do I need personal care, assisted living, skilled care? What are the communities around me? What questions should I be asking them? And so on my staff, we have a social worker and we have an attorney who also used to be a nurse, and they teach a class on this whole long-term care environment. And you make some decisions in a document that tells your family how you would like to receive your care. So that's life care. That's included for our Red Wagon Club members. And then we do another class every quarter on preserving your story. This one's actually taught by my lovely wife, Robin. She's got a really interesting background, but she has a background in helping people tell their family's story, right? And so what we do is we give our clients this program where they can they're prompted to answer some questions. A question might be, did you ever share a bedroom with anybody else? Or a question might be, tell me about the house you grew up in. Or and so then we ask our clients these questions. We ask them to record their stories, and after several months, you've got hours of content that your children just find super important. Now, this is all included for our Red Wagon Club members, right? Now, when I talk about at the beginning of the show, I was talking about estate planning is about more than just answering a question, who gets my stuff when I pass away? This is what I'm talking about. We're talking about actually putting together a plan that will provide real value to your family when things happen. Your kids aren't going to be in the dark. They're not going to have to guess about what they're supposed to do. We've left them some beautiful stories about you and how you're going to be remembered, because it's the new photo album. Nobody has photo albums anymore, but by doing this, we have it. And then after you've gone through sort of these 3 workshops, the life care workshop, the memory planning workshop, and we teach your kids what it means to be a trustee, then we continue the relationship. We have fun events. In July, we went to a Pirates game with a whole bunch of our clients. Just last weekend, we were on the Gateway Clipper with a whole bunch of our clients having a nice time. Because it seems to me like what's been occurring, and was kind of not designed this way, but it seems to me that people that are in this program tend to have a lot in common, right? Most of our clients are retired or about to be. Most of our clients have some stuff. Most of our clients, are are committed to doing good planning for their families. And so there's this sort of community that is developed where I'm now seeing the clients get to know each other. They're going out to dinner together. And we've got this kind of really neat community of people that are committed to having a good plan, having a better future for their families, understanding that we know the answer to the question about what to do when life throws us a curveball. So that's what the Red Wagon Club is all about. And we do monthly webinars. You can talk to an attorney every week. We have all these different benefits, and we can explain more about that. But what it's doing is, in my opinion, what we're doing is we're sort of changing the way that estate planning is done, and it has been extremely well received. We're now holding our workshops. We have them in Cranberry, we have them in South Point, we have them in Monroeville, and lots of people are learning good things about estate planning. I would encourage you to come to one of our upcoming workshops, the 3 Secrets to Protect Your Family and Your Finance, and you can find them on our website. So if you go to sechlerlawfirm.com, SECHLER lawfirm.com, you're going to find upcoming workshops. They are free. We do ask that you register because sometimes they fill up. And come to the workshop, and we're going to teach you all this stuff. We're going to teach you more about this process, but it's the first step in really understanding how to protect your family, how to protect your money, how to protect yourself, how to plan for long-term care, how to plan for a peaceful transition of wealth when you do pass away, how to plan for stress-free not worrying. One of the things that our clients, I think that they take away from this whole process that I've been describing is they've got an answer. Whatever question life throws at them, we got an answer. And that gives people real peace of mind. I've seen it. Like our clients love this thing. And so, and from my standpoint, that's my job. My job is not just to answer the question, who gets your stuff when you pass away? My job is to, one, from a legal standpoint, make sure there actually is some stuff to get when you pass away. We haven't lost it all to a nursing home or some tax mistake or some probate system, right? So one, we need to do the great technical work. But at our firm, we go a little past that. We do the great technical work, but we also want a relationship with our clients so that they know that we've got their backs. We got their backs when we set the thing up. We've got their backs when life changes, if the law changes, if your family dynamics change. We're here. You're a member. You're not a former client. You're a member. Give us a call, and we can help you sort through those issues. And if this is a thing, like if you've done an estate plan with another law firm in the past, and you're hearing what I'm saying, you've got to be thinking, our guy didn't do it that way. And your guy couldn't have done it this way. This is a process that we at the Sechler Law Firm created because we saw in our former selves and in the other law firms, the legal community, we saw that it wasn't going great for clients, right? It was not a client-centered approach to practicing estate planning. It was a law firm-centered approach to estate planning. Come in, buy a document, and get out. Because once you've bought the document, we don't have a financial incentive to help you anymore. We need to go get the next one. And that is not the way that we attorneys should be treating our clients. And I'm committed to my law firm not treating people that way. So that's, I think, the way that law firms should do this. Our clients certainly seem to enjoy it. You can go on, you can Google our firm and see all the reviews. People seem to really like this process. But if you're interested, one, you need to update your legal technical stuff. You haven't done a will since the kids were little. Two, you haven't heard from your lawyer, your attorney, or your lawyer in 5 years. Maybe there's some technical things that are different. Or three, you just want a relationship with an attorney and a law firm that actually cares. Come to one of our workshops. You're going to learn all about us. You're going to learn about our team. You're going to learn about the way that you can protect your family. and work with a firm who actually cares that the plan works in the future. So if that makes sense to you, check us out, sechlerlawfirm.com, SECHLER lawfirm.com. I'd love to have you at one of the upcoming workshops, but you have to register because we do fill these things up, and we need to know who's coming. So go to sechlerlawfirm.com, SECHLER lawfirm.com. Click the link and click the tab for workshops and select one of the workshops, and we'll see you there. Remember, folks, that this radio show is meant to be educational and informational. This is not meant to be legal advice. I don't think I really gave anything that could be considered legal advice on this episode, but don't make any decisions based on what you heard on this or any other radio show. If you need legal help, I've just spent a half an hour describing to you the best way I think you can get legal help. We're here to help you anytime. You can give us a call at 724-546-4227. Again, 724-546-4227, or go to sechlerlawfirm.com and register for one of our upcoming workshops. I look forward to meeting you. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. I hope you found it helpful and interesting. We'll talk to you here again next week.